the NBA. And, John, I don't think even when you were coaching at Georgetown and you had a big rival early in the season, you minimized it. They're all big.
Well, you minimize it, but this certainly won't be. This is a Monday night game. It certainly won't be a blue Monday night game.
Here comes Duncan. Guarded by Polonese, outside to Avery Johnson. Third time with the Spurs after getting cut and waved. And Avery, with the game-winning shot last year in the finals, is fouled quickly by John Stockton.
Well, and they're coming in real hard defensively because there's going to be a lot of emotions involved in this. I'm certain John didn't want to pick up a foul that early, but it's going to be indicative of the intensity of this game, Kevin.
There's a screen and another foul, and it's on John Stockton. And Jerry Sloan already now has to move the chess pieces, and he'll bring in Howard Isley, who John he normally brings in midway through the first quarter, but now he brings him in 18 seconds into the game.
Well, he would prefer not to bring him in this early, but I'm certain that he's confident in Isley's ability because he's used him very wisely to rest John so that John could keep his career a little longer.
Yeah, he's had a great career. Mario Ellie, a steal right there by Jeff Hornacek, who says he'll retire at the end of this season. Outside to the reigning MVP, Karl Malone. Ellie on Hornacek, who had a horrible shooting season last year, is thriving this year, and inside to Polonese with a great feed from Karl Malone.
Well, which starts off, that's a bad sign because it's indicative of this team. They'll take their time and work it and get a high percentage shot. And I'm certain the Spurs don't like that because that was one of the things that they wanted to be careful of.
The creaky David Robinson takes it inside, and Karl Malone picks up a foul. So 3 fouls on Utah, 2 on Stockton. And that one right there on Karl Malone.
Well, it was a huge loss in losing John Stockton that early. And, it appears to me that referees even understand the significance of this game, and they seem to be a little bit intense. We need to let them play a little bit, Kevin, before we get that quick with the whistle.
Stretch their legs a little bit, and Avery Johnson maneuvers. Isley is on him. Here's Tim Duncan with the rebound, gobbled up by Karl Malone. And here comes Isley. What do you think of Isley?
Well, I think a lot of him because I think he's in a tremendously tough position, particularly right now, and having to come in early for John Stockton. But I think he's been groomed extremely well to get ready for that.
Good point. He plays a lot of minutes. Now 6 seconds to shoot. Malone again with an uncovered shot. Rebound by Ellie.
Well, really, if you look at it, Howard Isley has probably played more minutes than Stockton, but most people don't realize it.
Jackson with the fake, and a seductive one it is. He takes it inside, and a tip in by Tim Duncan.
Well, he penetrated to the basket. One of the things that Jaren Jackson told me before the game is that they want them to penetrate a lot more because of their big people that have a tendency to stand up and just spot up and shoot.
Isley surveys, hits Brian Russell, coming off a screen, and a foul is set down low, and it's on Jaren Jackson, a guy that you used to coach at Georgetown.
Yeah, this is a little bit ridiculous, I think. The refereeing is a little bit too intense. Let them play a little bit and warm up. These guys haven't even broken a sweat. I know the referees haven't broken a sweat yet.
Have you?
No. We want to see a ball game. It's hot here tonight.
A miss by Malone, picked up by Avery Johnson, who played at Southern University. Off the Jackson for 3.
And that's what they need from him, particularly when you have Sean Elliott not in the game. Somebody's got to open it up from the outside so that the big guys can maneuver a little bit later inside.
Utah coming in has won 6 consecutive games. Isley with the late defense of Avery Johnson not altering the shot at all.
Well, I guess Isley has answered us.
Yep.
He can take that responsibility of coming in there.
He's a free agent after this season. Utah's got to make a decision on if he stays or if he goes. And here's Mario Ellie. He's played on 3 championship teams in his career. Duncan with the miss, jousting Robinson and Malone, and Robinson picks up the foul.
Well, one of the things they've been saying to the Spurs is trying to emphasize the rebounding, in particular the defensive rebounding. In that instance, it was an offensive rebound because they feel that the last time that they played Utah just dominated them on the boards.
Utah won the first meeting back in mid-November, 91-85. Here's Russell. Isley with a nice fake. Johnson bit, and Isley hits again.
Well, the bad thing is that Utah is scoring too easily. One of the things that Popovich, one of the things that we're concerned about is the fact that this team executes mini Utah so well that you cannot permit them to get easy baskets. Most of the baskets that they've gotten so far are entirely too easy. San Antonio definitely has to increase their intensity defensively.
Under 9 to play. We're in the first quarter. Utah on top 6-5 as you see Johnson chiseling his way, feeding to Duncan, who maneuvers on Collins.
I think he can play a little bit. Was that smooth enough for a guy 7 feet tall?
He's only in his 3rd season, but Duncan has been all-NBA first team, offense and defensively. His first 2 years, Russell slithering inside and a foul called as he tried to tear him off bodies. And they assess it with Tim Duncan and Jaren Jackson defending. Jackson. And Russell at the free throw line. John, a former second-round pick on Long Beach State. And I can't believe in their wildest imagination, for the kid who now takes the place of Shandon Anderson, that this kid would flower the way he has.
Well, and I think it's indicative of the system that he's in. You know, anytime a kid can get in this kind of system, you've got John Stockton, you've got Malone. I mean, you've got guys that are experienced players. These guys will accept you if you're unselfish and you try to play within the context of their offense, and their offense takes a lot of pressure off of you, Kevin.
It's 8-7 with Utah on top. You see the shooting so far. 4 early lead changes. Tim Duncan from outside with the rebound garnered by the point guard Isley. Firing a pass to Powell, and he's quickly double teamed, but hooks it in anyway.
And another easy basket.
Yeah.
Another easy basket.
Nice pass by Isley.
A very nice pass by Isley.
Approaching 8 to play here in the first. Malone goes down, and a foul is called. It's on San Antonio with a shove inside on Greg Popovich's Spurs, the second on David Robinson.
Well, if you look at this, you know, Panis makes a great cut inside. You know, he makes a reverse layup and puts it right in. One of the things that you have to be careful of when you play with David Robinson and Duncan, you may have a tendency to be a little lackadaisical in thinking that they're going to clean up everything for you inside, and that's the best way to get them in foul trouble. The perimeter people have to play better defense for the Spurs.
Like Terry Porter, who's in there right now. Pump fake by Panis, who's outside to Isley, and the shot clock at 15. So Terry Porter, the ex-Miami Heat player, is in the game for the Spurs. Isley dancing on Johnson, doubled by Robinson, kicks it out. Russell with 3 to shoot, maneuvers, and is fouled. And Mario Ellie will pick it up. So Robinson has 2 fouls for San Antonio. Ellie picking up his first. John Stockton on the bench with 2 for the Utah Jazz. So some big components in early foul.
Well, and I think what is significant is now Duncan has to go and play Malone. You know, Robinson has 2 fouls. This doesn't look good early in the ball game because you're getting both of your big guys in foul trouble. Malone is very difficult to guard because he can drive and he can also post up as well as shoot outside.
Shot clock at 2 with the miss. Nice offensive rebound dug out by Hornacek in a fresh 24 with 7 to play in the first.
Yeah, this Spurs team has to wake up defensively as well as on the defensive boards because they're getting out hustled, and that's the thing that happens when you have 2 great big guys who are rebounding. You have a tendency to stand and watch it.
Here's a 3-on-2. Johnson to Ellie.
That was great. That's one of the things also that they had indicated is that they walked the ball down the floor because they were so cognizant of trying to get the ball into their big people. They weren't getting enough easy transition baskets, so I'm certain they were happy about pushing that down and getting a basket.
Utah by 1, 6.5 in the first quarter. Malone tries to take it inside with some defensive play in by the Jazz. And Tim Duncan. Malik Rose picks up the foul. Here's the 3-on-2. Ellie catapults his way up for 2. It's Utah by 1.
Philips CD recorder. Burn your own CDs. this Friday.
Oh, my God.
If you think in space no one can hear you scream, think again. Supernova. Rated PG-13.
It's a fact. A Whopper has 40 grams of fat. But Subway has 7 delicious sandwiches with 6 grams of fat or less. To burn off those extra grams of fat, you'd have to do 1,785 jumping jacks. Subway. It's the way a sandwich should be.
You are the best. We're here today to show you that even the best can get better. Let's go. Come on, guys. What do you mean? Let's go. As an NBA mascot consultant, my research shows this is fun. What the? Yes, nice, guys. What are you, anyway? Till the burn, baby. Oh, nice. I like that.
At the time I came in, I think it was probably the best situation for me to have an opportunity to play against him every day in practice and to watch him play out on the floor. He's been very beneficial to my career. It's definitely been a blessing for me. I feel very fortunate to have the opportunity to play behind him.
Howard Isley, born and raised in Detroit, and now he takes the place of John Stockton on the bench with 2 fouls. You know, you coached at Georgetown against Boston College and Howard Isley.
And didn't do a good job of coaching against him because he was so competitive. The thing I respect about Isley is that he played on several CBA teams and also was a substitute on a CBA team before coming to this league. Here's a young man who understands what it means to be a part of a team and a system.
36-year-old Karl Malone at the free throw line, having a career year at the stripe. 80% from rural Summerfield, Louisiana. Went to Louisiana Tech. And he is the reigning MVP at 117 of a possible 118 first-place votes last year. And now the 3rd all-time leading scorer, surpassing Michael Jordan earlier this season.
When he got that ball the last time, he drove immediately to the basket on Duncan, realizing that David Robinson is sitting on the bench with 2 fouls. He'd love to get Duncan in foul trouble, too.
Now Malik Rose is in, taking the place of Robinson. Porter remains in the game. Duncan working on Polynice, doubled by Hornacek, and back out to Terry Porter. The mismatch on Polynice, he exploited with the pass to Duncan, and out of bounds it goes. And it's off of Utah. And it hit the rim, and you can see tonight, once San Antonio is done with their 4 field goals, you got 6 fouls, 2 of which are called on David Robinson. Both teams are 4 of 9 from the field. A miss there from Terry Porter.
Well, you've got to notice the missing of Sean Elliott because they've got to generate more offense in this team. They've gone to Duncan successively and tried to get the defense to react and then go back outside. Karl Malone definitely, on the other hand, Utah is going to because they'd love to get Duncan in foul trouble.
Malone now with 3. Utah 50% from the field. And the Jazz with their biggest lead. Bree Johnson from New Orleans missing the shot. Rebound by Malone.
Well, nobody on the Spurs team went to the offensive boards other than Duncan, and that's been a concern of theirs.
Howard Isley. He played high school basketball with Jalen Rose and Bashan Leonard in Detroit. Measuring a 3, Hornacek. Rebound inside, pulled by Duncan. He's got 3 ahead to Johnson. Flips it over to Ellie. Inside Duncan, rotating back to Johnson with the move on Hornacek to Porter for 3. They got him.
Well, that's exactly why they got him. And I think to also generate a little bit of energy in this team because this team can become a little lethargical at times, and understandably so. But in the same token, this is a championship team. Everybody's going to come in here and play them hard.
Spurs can take a lead right here. They're down by 1 with 4.5 to play. Isley with the steal. Taking the place of Stockton with 2 fouls. Hornacek to Isley. 3 San Antonio turnovers already. It's into Malone. Shuffling to Isley. Another great deceptive move by Malone.
Well, and that's you miss David Robinson because actually Tim Duncan is guarding Karl Malone. He handed the ball off, and usually it's the second line of defense in having David back there. But now when you go by Tim Duncan, a guy can go right in and make a layup.
That's a good point, is Ellie was taking it inside on Russell, who picks up the foul for Utah.
Well, a perfect example of this is Howard Isley hits the post, and if you look at that, Tim Duncan is guarding Malone afraid to leave him. Howard Isley reverse layup, and no David Robinson is there now. He's sitting on the bench.
Avery Johnson will check out. Checking in will be Antonio Daniels. He's a third-year player from Bowling Green. 2 fouls on Robinson. Daniels, a former #1 pick by the Vancouver Grizzlies. Duncan inside on Paladins.
With every possession they have going to him, you know, now he's trying to take Paladins a little lower, realizing the fact that David Robinson is not in there. He can't afford to just stand outside and shoot jump shots now, particularly because the Spurs are not rebounding other than Duncan.
Hornacek and the athletic Daniels. Ricky Reeves, he throws inside. It's picked off. Utah's first turnover of the game. Daniels at the other end.
Well, and that's why they have to. That was great. That's why they have to intensify their perimeter defense. And they've become a little lazy with that, simply because when you have good shot blockers, you have a tendency to feel if your man goes by you, they'll get it. But in order to fast break, they've got to pressure this team, and particularly a team that's executing as well as Utah does.
A very small San Antonio lineup. Isley for 3, right between the eyes. He's got 9 since coming off the bench.
Does Howard Isley know that he's a substitute in this game?
He can't be a sub. He's got to be like a starter tonight.
My goodness.
Ellie into Duncan. Will they double him? It's only Paladins.
Boy, and everything is playing off of Duncan right now.
Porter wheels around the left side, missing the shot. Another rebound by Isley as he'll accelerate up the middle. Russell into Malone. That was David Robinson. Subject tonight, but with Robinson on the bench, they got to rearrange their defense. Though San Antonio has gone small, and they put Duncan defensively on Malone.
Well, Greg Popovich said that one of the reasons he wanted David to play him because he would rather him to come to Duncan because of Duncan's lateral movement right now, and that there would be a greater second line of defense.
Shot clock at 7. Daniels to Duncan. He's quickly doubled, flips it over to Porter, back to Malik. Rebounded by Russell.
You know, the Spurs really don't have, without Sean Elliott, a creator off of the dribble. And it's very obvious when they don't get the ball into Duncan, there's absolutely no moving. Or when they get it to him, they wait for the defense to react before they can generate their offense.
Quickly clamping down on Isley. It ends up to Paladins. Rebound by Antonio Daniels. He's from Columbus, Ohio. Terry Porter. Into Duncan, picked up by Paladins. He's had some big games against some of the best centers. He knocks it away there. 3-2. Isley pulling up. Oh, it was deflected. Ellie had it. Russell pulled him down, and a foul called on Russell. Great pace. Utah by 4. With 1:19 to play in the first quarter.
CNN Sports Illustrated, the sports network more people are switching to. Call your cable or satellite provider.
AT&T, 7 cents a minute, all day, every day.
Take one of these. That'll be 25 cents.
But it says here it's a nickel.
Not for a couple of hours.
What?
Well, see, sometimes it's a nickel, but right now, it's a quarter.
It's like that long-distance nickel plan where they say it's a nickel.
Sometimes they charge you 25.
That's right.
That's where we got the idea.
Is that right?
7 cents a minute, all day, every day, even to Canada with our international plan.
You know, there are some stores that sell candy for one low price all day long.
And people like it?
Oh, they love it.
Call 1-800-41-RATE to enroll.
Unleash the power of Charter Digital Cable. Get ready for more movies, more channels, more choices, more entertainment, all through the cable that's already in your home. Get more with Charter Digital Cable from Charter Communications, a Wired World company.
If you're ready to lose weight, muscle up, and get back into shape, I've got a free video you're going to love. Introducing a winning fitness strategy. You got to eat healthy, drink plenty of water, and most importantly, strength train with Bowflex.
Strength training adds muscle. Not only does your shape look better, you actually increase your metabolism.
Hey, I'm 41, and I'm in the best shape of my life. And I can tell you, Bowflex really does work.
For a free video and brochure on the machine that can help you get into great shape at any age, call right now.
Being farsighted? It's no problem when you buy a new fridge. It could help you see savings for years. Shopping for energy efficiency when you buy an appliance was good advice when that NSP commercial urged you to do so a few years back. And it's good advice today. In fact, those far-sighted NSP customers who bought energy-efficient appliances just 3 to 8 years ago have probably saved enough in energy costs to cover their purchases. Conserving energy is always a good idea.
Professional drivers, take home more, be home more with Rail Transport. Rail offers better pay. Rail pays experienced drivers in the top 10 of all carriers. Rail offers better home time. Rail gets you home when you need to be. And we have a great benefit package. Better equipment, new tractors, Qualcomm, friendly personalized dispatch, plus an owner-operator program. Professional drivers, call 1-800-GO-RAIL to join the best for both pay and home time. That's 800-GO-RAIL.
Significance of someone after they're gone.
Mario Ellie at the free throw line, a guy that was brought in to be a vocal leader a season ago after championship seasons in Houston. Born and raised in New York City, grew up 5 minutes away from Madison Square Garden and played at Power Memorial High School. And one of his teammates there was Chris Mullen. He was actually cut as a freshman from the team that made it as a sophomore.
Well, he has to go back to what he did last year and give this team more energy. I think he will do it when the playoffs comes because he's an experienced player, but they need it right now.
Quincy Lewis, the rookie from Minnesota with the miss. The rebound by Polonese, who's played for 6 teams in 13 years.
Well, and that's one of the worries of the Spurs. I mean, you can't defend against a team that executes as well as Utah and let them get the ball back and have 2 and 3 opportunities to run their offense.
Shot clock at 7. Isley zigs and zags and leans and is blocked by Duncan. Picked up by Daniels. 3 on 2. Down the court. Oh, what a
great play. Well, one of the things it shows that, Daniels makes a good play here, jumps up, makes the block, and also has some assistance from Duncan, but it ignites their fast break, and that's the thing that's very important because offensively they aren't as fluid at half court. They have to play good defense and get out and get some easy baskets.
San Antonio has a lead of 1. They've led before by 3. Utah's lead has been as big as 4. Inside to Isley, taking the place of Stockton. Hornacek off balance and right down the middle for 3.
And that's a great example of the execution of the offense. Isley came off of a screen off the high post and then immediately ran to the corner and set a screen for a forward. And if you relax defensively, these guys will kill you. That's why so many coaches are so afraid, Kevin, of this offense and how it runs.
2 seconds separate the play clock and the game clock, which you see winding down the first quarter. Daniels working on Isley. Shot clock at 1. Runs. Can't go. Rebound Polonese. Buzzer sounds. A captivating first quarter from San Antonio. Howard Isley authors a 9-point, 2-rebound, and 2-assist first quarter, taking the place of the foul-prone Stockton. It's TBS NBA Monday, and the champion Spurs down by 2 at the end of 1.
Tuesday night.
I was calling about the nanny position.
What comes naturally to some doesn't to others.
Baby?
Annabella Sciorra and Rebecca De Mornay.
My family.
The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, 8:05 Eastern, Tuesday night on the Superstation. The amazing world of Ripley's. Stories you can't imagine. People you won't believe. With host Dean Cain, Ripley's Believe It or Not. Wednesday night at 8:05 Eastern, exclusively on the Superstation.
While there are a lot of places where people buy parts for their car, the fact is more people choose AutoZone than any other. It's because we're the largest auto parts retailer in America, and they save money with our everyday low price. It's because more often than not, we have the parts they need in stock. And it's because we're the only place where they'll find a battery that's backed by a 3-year free replacement guarantee. Which is why we say there's just no place better than AutoZone.
16-year-old gets $20 from Grandma. He buys a CD.
It was on sale.
But wait, he's got a date tonight. Solution?
Wendy's 99-cent super value menu. Junior bacon cheeseburgers, baked potatoes, rich and meaty chili. It's there for you.
Problem solved.
Who is that guy?
We started out a pretty small business, but it sure wasn't small to us. We needed help, financial help. That's just what we got from the people at American Express Small Business Services. We got equipment financing for bigger stoves and faster computers, a line of credit to keep our cash flow flowing, plus the buying power to help our business grow. 1-800-SUCCESS was the best call we ever made. Like my father says, you can do anything you set your mind to, but you can't do it alone. He's right.
What has the world talking? TI programmable DSP, turning cell phones into handheld engines of information. From the world leader in digital wireless, Texas Instruments.
Monday night is yours. This is TBS NBA Monday, the newest franchise in the Turner Sports family with Craig Sager and John Thompson. Kevin Harlan, a brilliant night here in the Alamo City. Immediately after this game, the Denver Nuggets with Antonio McDyess, a rejuvenated team against right now the odds-on favorite to capture the MVP, Shaquille O'Neal. And we start the second quarter. John Stockton is in, throwing for Malone. That ball whistles out of bounds. Let's go back to the first quarter and watch a crushing screen put on by Karl Malone. Wow. That'll knock you into next week, huh?
Oh, that's what he's out there. That's his role.
All right.
If you're going to set a screen on him, you screen him.
Let's set the lineups. Daniels, Porter, Duncan, Jerome Kersey, the veteran, and also Malik Rose for San Antonio. Ostertag is in, working on Duncan, and draws the foul. So here's Ostertag, a guy who now has Powney's to kind of prod him, and Duncan on the other side, so adroit, so nimble, so talented. What about this matchup, John?
Well, I would expect Duncan to look to face him a lot more and look to drive on him to get him to move a lot more laterally. You know, if he gets him low, certainly he will try to go over him, but he'll probably try to capitalize on his mobility and Ostertag's lack of, as he's doing now. He's facing him and looking to penetrate.
You just saw Armin Gilliam in the game as Duncan hits a nice short-range jump shot. That's going to be a tough matchup for Ostertag, who, as Jerry Sloan was showing us earlier, was playing some of the best basketball of his career early in the season. Stockton had 2 fouls after 18 seconds, begins the second quarter. Armin Gilliam played for a host of teams, missing the shot. They need low-post scoring, so Gilliam is here.
They definitely need low-post scoring, and they're so accustomed to hitting Karl Malone in the low-post position, as Kevin O'Connor, the GM, told us, that it's very important to get another guy that you can run the same system, particularly when you have Karl out of the ball game.
So Isley and Stockton are in there. Isley playing the 2. Inside it goes, knocked away by the Spurs. Daniels at the other end. Stockton is right on it.
It's interesting that they left Isley in, even though, you know, John Stockton came in the substitute for.
Right there, Gilliam is new to this team. But what you're going to see is he did not pick up on the switch. Watch the right side. Stockton is in front, Gilliam in the back, and there the mismatch was.
Well, and Gilliam has not reacted to the system yet. I mean, in all fairness to him, he's got to get in it defensively and offensively and learn to respond without thinking about it. Right now, he's doing a lot of thinking because his team is new to him.
So the foul was put on Duncan. Stockton inside, and the shot by Jacques Vaughn, new in the game, will not go. Here comes Antonio Daniels the other way, slicing across the lane, out to Jerome Kersey. Rebounded by Gilliam, his second rebound.
Well, one of the things the Spurs coaching staff said is that they wanted to see more penetration from their team.
Lewis left untouched and uncovered, is unsuccessful on the shot. Porter the other way.
Well, the tempo seems to have picked up a little bit more for the Spurs, too. When they don't pick it up, it seems like one option is just to go inside with Duncan. That's not a bad option.
There's a foul called on Gilliam down low, guarding Malik Rose, and a timeout.
You know, and when you watch this, you see Duncan's ability. I mean, they're going up. Duncan just reaches over. He's got great hands, and he just pulls the ball away from most of the time.
Timeout.
People are beginning to think of the automobile not just as a family vehicle, but as a personal and individual means of transportation.
The throb of a powerful engine. Now for a moment, imagine yourself as driver of this automobile. You really have to drive it.
At the Chrysler Proving Ground,
Give them an expressway, and their drivers are...
I think we made the scenic back roads fun to drive.
Or give them any country or suburban road, rough or smooth. They're the type of people who like the feel of a flying machine.
Love to drive the renowned engineers of Chrysler.
A minimum of ornamentation and a minimum of chrome moldings.
Need a regular firecracker. The sounds of nature sing their prettiest over the rich, throaty obligato of his engine.
Even sheet metal can have a soul.
And they give you back the romance of driving.
And that is why these will never land on an ordinary car.
And you find out what exceptional unity of man and machine has been achieved.
She won't go near me until I get a diamond. No diamond, no amore. Great. We've only been out once, and she wants a diamond?
Introducing the Schick FX Diamond Razor. Alpha diamond coating makes each blade start sharper and stay sharper, shave after shave.
The diamond definitely improved our relationship, if you know what I'm saying.
Schick, the feel of smart design.
Ernie Johnson in our Atlanta studio. Live look as the Charlotte Hornets play the Milwaukee Bucks at the Bradley Center in Charlotte, trying to avoid an 0-6 road trip. But they trail the Milwaukee Bucks at Bradley Center 35-24. The Hornets, without Eddie Jones, have gone 2-7. How desperately they need him back. They cut the gap on the Eldon Campbell hoop. Let's go back to Kevin and John.
All right, EJ, thank you very much. Milwaukee's been a nice story. A veteran team. In the middle of that, you see Ray Allen, who is bound for the 2000 Olympics in Sydney.
Well, Ray Allen is a tremendous player. Sam Cassell, is a world of confidence. And you look at that team, and you know that they, on any night, can create a problem for anybody.
Sam Cassell was injured when he was acquired last year in that Marbury trade that involved all those teams. But Cassell is a talented player when he is healthy, not only a leader on the floor.
Well, and Kevin, he has confidence that goes through the roof.
Yeah,
that goes through the roof.
Here's Tim Duncan. He shows a little bit of confidence.
Well, this is the isolation. I think he thinks he can go by this guy anytime he wants to.
John, he is devouring Ostertag.
Well, he devours most people, but Ostertag, I think he puts a little mustard on him before he does it.
Here's John Stockton out to Jacques Vaughn, out there Quincy Lewis. Malone is on the bench, taking a breather. Gilliam takes his place, and Malik Rose pops it away from the dribbling Stockton on the baseline. Shot clock at 12. Big clock at 9:23 as David Robinson, with 2 fouls, checks back in. A much-needed rest for truly the most consistent Spur all season long, Tim Duncan.
Well, in a Spur that they've learned to rely on maybe a little bit too much, particularly if they're going to return and be in a championship team.
Utah hasn't scored their last 6 trips down the field, and here's Avery Johnson. Antonio Daniels, who's a free agent after this season. Robinson across the lane, missing on the hook. Rebound by Vaughn.
Boy, David's got to loosen up a little bit. He did the right thing. He went to the basket, but he's been sitting on the bench a good little while, and that's difficult to do, to sit on the bench and come down and they go right to you.
Robinson misses his first shot of the game, and here's Jacques Vaughn, who played at Kansas, and a whistle down low, and there's something wrong with the clock. They saw something with the clock, and Eddie F. Rush goes over there to take a look at it. Shot clock with 8:55 to play in this second quarter. A great crowd tonight here at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. The Spurs are not long for here. They had a vote, of course, much publicized vote for a new arena, which they acquired in a couple years from now. John, they'll play in a basketball/rodeo arena. They say the rodeo down here, with a couple days it runs in certain weeks, will draw over 1 million people.
Well, the rodeo is big everywhere now. I think it's interesting, the association between building that arena and keeping Duncan here.
And a miss by Stockton, who was flying inside. Avery Johnson the other way.
Well, you've got to wonder where the offense is going to come from with the Spurs if it doesn't come from David. I think guys like Kersey and them have to look to do what he's doing now to penetrate, to at least to cause fouls. But they're doing a lot of standing around now trying to go inside. They were doing it with Duncan. They were doing it with David now.
Another 40% shooting for the Utah Jazz in this game. Very uncharacteristic of that team. Spurs at only 44%. At the free throw line, 37-year-old Jerome Kersey. He's been in the playoffs, John, to show you what kind of greatness he has had and the teams he's played on. In 14 of his 15 seasons, 2 finals with Portland, final with San Antonio. He hits that second free throw, and he gives the Spurs their biggest lead tonight, 27-23.
Well, it ain't need Jerome Kersey for his hard-nosedness. You know, this team has been accused of being soft, unfairly so in some instances, but you need his personality, his experience, and his mental toughness, and particularly his physical toughness.
San Antonio, the oldest team in the NBA, most experienced team. Going inside, but with a foul and a charge, the rookie from Minnesota, Quincy Lewis, and he picks up his 3rd personal foul for Jerry Sloan. Russell will come in and take his place.
Well, and looking at it, you know, I mean, he's in, he got over. Well, he might have moved his feet a little bit there. But the thing that's good, he prevented the man from going to the basket. One thing the Spurs have been doing is funneling everybody into the middle unnecessarily, so as far as the coach is concerned. He doesn't want that to happen because your big people get in foul trouble.
Robinson throws it away. Stockton is there with the interception, hesitating, dancing off balance, and can't get it to drop. Rebound by Robinson. Here comes Daniels. With players ahead, he'll fly inside and can't get it to go. Ostertag is there.
Well, one of the things the Spurs are doing now, they have to play better defense. You know, the one disappointment that I would feel right now is that they're not as aggressive defensively as they should be on the perimeter, particularly with the defensive shot blockers. They have the best defensive shot blocker, one of the best in the history of the league since they've been taking statistics, at least, in David Robinson. So that enables you to put a lot of pressure on people, but you've got to stay in front of them.
Malik Rose picks up the foul. Utah is 0 of 6 this quarter. Stockton outside. Russell swings it to Gilliam. Conspicuous by his absence below. The shot, the force when it was by Russell, will not go.
Well, what is also conspicuous is that Gilliam has to learn the system. I think he's thinking a lot more than reacting right now.
Robinson into Ostertag. Hooks it up. Ostertag played it well. Rebound by Stockton. He's off to the races and out of the blocks and looking ahead. Bumping into Avery Johnson. No travel there. Across the lane and can't get it to go. Utah has gone 5.5 minutes without a field goal. Malone is set to check back in. Timeout on the floor. The foul is called on Malik Rose for the 3rd time. It's the world champion Spurs on top of the Jazz by 4.
Hello?
It's me.
Hey, honey.
I'm wearing that nightie.
Mm-hmm.
The sheer one.
Go on.
The lights are low.
Yeah.
I've got a Bud Light.
Bud Light? Is it cold?
Well, yeah.
Does it have those little beads of sweat running down the side of it?
Yeah, but I...
Is it a long neck?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Oh!
Find out why love is the most dangerous thing on the brutal frontier.
I cannot live with a man who finds it so easy to kill.
Bill Pullman and Diane Lane, The Virginian. See it Wednesday night at 8, exclusively on TNT.
At Mega, we care about the entire family, and for many of us, that includes our pets. Whether your pet is a new family member or a longtime faithful companion.
Mega's King of the Jungle Pet Centers carry everything you need to care for man's best friend, including some mega-sized items.
So remember, when it comes to caring for all your family members, Mega is the only stop you need.
Once upon a time, winter meant hibernation. I couldn't get to work. My wife was stuck too, and Junior was clawing at the walls. So we 3 bears got 3 snapper snow throwers. A snapper for Junior, a snapper for Mama Bear, and one for me. Any size snapper goes through snow like a grizzly. Your family will be free and clear in no time and live happily ever after. Nuts to nuts and berries. We're going out for porridge.
See these snapper dealers. Eau Claire Lawn Equipment. What happens when a little boy gets adopted by a big baby?
You two got the same size t-shirts on. That's amazing.
Like father,
You like that?
like son,
That's my boy.
and vice versa.
What's your name? I'll write it on the wall.
Feel like a good laugh?
Good luck walking down the street. That's all I can say.
Go in for hit pay-per-view comedy.
He's not happy. What else you got?
Adam Sandler.
I'm waiting on you!
Big Daddy. First on TV, best on TV. In demand.
Every fish needs a home, and what better place to buy your aquarium than at Pet Food Plus? Pick up all the fishy essentials to make your aquarium enchanting enough for even a mermaid. Let the professionals at Pet Food Plus help you care for your animals, too. You'll find everything you need for your dog, cat, horse, reptile, and other small animal. Bring your dog in for a self-service wash, where everything is provided, including the cleanup afterward. Dogs love science diets with real meat, and vets recommend it for all life stages. Available at Pet Food Plus.
3 late in the first quarter. First points. That's only one. And it's 27-24. San Antonio on top by 3. Robinson over Malone.
Well, and he's got to be more aggressive, and that was the thing that we said at the top of the show. You can't lay back and let Duncan do it all because you have a team called LA that's sitting around here waiting, and you're not going to beat them with one team, one player. It's got to be a team effort. David's got to elevate his game offensively.
Little spring left in the legs of 37-year-old Jerome Kersey, and here comes Avery Johnson the other way. Tim Duncan outside, caught by Jaren Jackson, who's played for 8 teams in 9 years. Back to Duncan over Gilliam. Rebound by Russell. They're playing Gilliam and Malone together.
Well, and I think that's the interesting thing about Jerry Sloan is that he's trying to develop his team. He knows that Gilliam isn't quite ready, but he's trying to get him ready by playing him early in the second quarter and playing him in the first quarter.
Malone has gone 3 of 5, has 7 points, and that field goal right there breaks a 6.5-minute drought by the Utah Jazz, who creeped to within 3. Avery Johnson again, a guy who was 5'3" as a senior in high school. He's down the lane. Rebound by Malone. He's undrafted out of Southern. There's Kersey and Stockton wrestling on the side. And the foul called on Jerome Kersey.
Well, I don't know about that call.
It's the first on him.
I don't know about that call. And many others before it.
Do we have all ball? That position.
Well, he grabbed the ball and the Stockton pivoted. I mean, hey.
What are you going to do?
Call a foul.
Which they did.
That's what you're going to do.
5:20 to play. We are in the second quarter. Russell with a dazzling array of moves. Flies off the baseline and hits it for 2. He's got 4. Great pump fake by Brian Russell.
Well, in watching this, David does a good job of using the screen and steps out, you know what I mean? And that was, you know, what he's got to do. He's got to be more aggressive, but then he's got to come back down on offense a lot faster and play Karl Malone because he can hit that shot. It's a continuation of thought process, and that's one of the things about David. He's so talented, and he's become so unselfish, which you admire him for, but in order for this team to be successful, he's got to activate himself, I think, an awful lot more, particularly how strong the West is this year in the NBA.
He's got 3 fouls, and last year for Robinson, the first time he did not average 20 points or better, and his body, they say, is failing him. We talk to players around the league, they say his body is quitting on him.
Well, you know, and I don't know how much his body is quitting on him as much as the fact that he's being too generous and too considerate. This team needs him now in order for it to be successful.
Jacques Vaughn off to Russell. Working on Samaki Walker, and outside it goes back to Vaughn. Dancing on Jackson, takes it inside. And here comes Kersey the other way. Most of his career with the Portland Trail Blazers.
Well, the way Utah is driving, they don't believe that the Spurs team can defend against penetration. Everybody that gets the ball is driving with 2 great shot blockers in the middle.
Rebound by Ostertag on the miss by Duncan. Duncan tonight with 12.
But here's another penetration.
Flies inside for 2.
I mean, they're going to the basket. It's very obvious what the game plan is. Obviously, David, who's one of the best shot blockers in the history of the NBA, is on the bench. But this Utah team is just penetrating to the basket. They're hardly running their system. They don't think these guys can defend, Kevin.
Stockton's first 2 tie the game. Avery Johnson inside. Rebound by Malone. Quick pass to Stockton. 3-on-1. Taking it himself. Dishing off wide open Russell for 2. Right down the middle.
Well, and that's why everybody respects him. I mean, he had an opportunity to force up a shot. He pitched the ball outside to Russell, and Russell rewarded him by putting it in the basket. That's why these guys are good.
Now the Jazz by 2. 33-31. Duncan and Ostertag. Johnson. Jackson. Driving. He was so quick. Great throw. with a wicked right-handed jam.
Well, and also a penetration. By penetrating, Jaron pulled the defense to him, and as a result of it, was able to give Duncan a good basket where he didn't have to work against his defensive man.
Duncan with 14 points, 8 in this second quarter. Stockton, it's Jack Vaughn for 3. And he's fouled by Kersey on the three-point shot. Jack Vaughn, who came out of Kansas as a horrible shooter, is now an inconsistent shooter, which, John, I mean, probably is an upgrade, right?
We hope so, particularly if that consistency is at the right moments.
He worked so hard all summer on nothing but his shot, and no Jazz player puts in more shooting time than the third-year player out of the Jayhawk program, Jack Vaughn.
Well, and he plays with a sense of confidence. He plays hard, he pushes the basketball, and he defends aggressively.
Ostertag tried to get it out to Malone, saved by Jackson, now to Walker, the ex-Dallas Maverick. And here comes little Avery Johnson. Never drafted. Couldn't even start in high school, but here he is in the NBA on the championship team. It's Duncan with a pick on Ostertag, and Ostertag bit it easily.
Yeah, and one of the things that he does real well, and most big guys cannot do it as well, is passing out of the double. He can split. Duncan can split the doubles very well. This kid's got an awful lot of talent, but still I think the Spurs would love to see that team penetrate a little bit more.
They double Stockton, who feeds to Vaughn, who swings it to Russell. Jackson is right there. Jackson known as a tough defender, and showed it right there. Rebound by Malone. 5 rebounds by Karl Malone to go along with his 7 points and 4 assists.
Well, not only do you have to be tough defensively against Utah, you have to be consistently tough because they'll be patient enough until they get you to break down.
A 2 by Vaughn. Both teams are shooting 42%. Jaren Jackson the other way. He's also from New Orleans.
Well, the Spurs have to be able to get some penetration as well as get some fast break baskets.
Screen by Duncan. Russell is there. Ostertag and Duncan. A corkscrew move, and a foul is called on Ostertag, who flares his emotions.
Well, I think
picking up his second foul.
Well, and I think if Ostertag used more of those emotions on Gordon Duncan than on the official, he'd be a heck of a lot better off.
We got a good one cooking up here on the Alamo City. Utah by 1 over the world champs.
I've always believed that there's strength in numbers. That's what teamwork's all about. Like here in downtown Oakland, Antoine Jameson and kids from the neighborhood came together to make a difference.
Thank you.
Now, these guys may not have created a masterpiece.
You gotta stay within the lines.
I am.
But when people come together, the result can be beautiful. Team up to improve your community.
It came from nowhere. Baptized today on the hot sands of Daytona, where a mile measures the length of your nerve. They call these giants 300.
4 decades later, their fuel-injected descendant has arrived.
She's got some real fire in her belly.
Chrysler 300M, the most powerful sports sedan in its class.
Well, I reckon a fella can get used to winning in this car.
Chrysler 300M. Car and driver's 10 best 2 years running.
College, it's a big financial commitment. Scott, you have a loved one in college.
You bet. I'm really proud of her. Just got her grade.
And do you send her money?
Oh, yeah. Well, books, tuition, never stop.
And you use Western Union?
Of course. If I didn't, she'd put me over her knee.
Let's meet this feisty co-ed. Scott's mom.
Mom. Thought I'd be coming home this weekend.
She misses me.
Child, I'm just dropping off my laundry.
Hey, it's your money. Use Western Union, the fastest way to send money worldwide.
TBS NBA Monday is brought to you by Chrysler, giving you back the romance of driving. And by Western Union Money Transfer, the fastest way to send money worldwide.
Wednesday on the Superstation, an all-new original series, Ripley's Believe It or Not, 8:05 Eastern, only on the Superstation.
And welcome to the Alamo Dome here in San Antonio. Kevin Harlan, John Thompson, Craig Sager, our entire TBS NBA Monday crew. Tonight, the world champion San Antonio Spurs at 23-12 against the red-hot Utah Jazz. They've won 14 of 17. And John, we came into this game saying you still think the Spurs gauge themselves on Utah. That's what they compare themselves to.
Well, I think they definitely do, and it's particularly when John Stockton is in the game. I don't think that they would have gauged themselves when John Stockton was sitting on the bench. But if you notice, since he's been back in the game has flowed a lot more offensively because he ran the offense, even though Howard Isley did a great job when he came in the game of scoring. John Stockton runs the offense and gets everybody involved.
Like Brian Russell from three. Great shot by Russell. The three ball hitting the home run. Utah leads 39-37. Minute and a half to play in the half. Mario Ellie is back in. Driving in on Colony. Scoops it over to Avery Johnson.
Well, and every time the Spurs have penetrated, something good has happened. When they stood on the outside, nothing good happened. And one of the things that Pops wants them to do is to be able to penetrate a lot more. Jaren Jackson was telling me that in their practice, he had been emphasizing an awful lot for them to drive and to drive a lot more.
Nice shot put in. Utah's on top. Hornacek hits it. Hornacek, the #1 free throw shooter in the NBA. And Hornacek in his career, almost 50% shooter from the field. And close to that mark this year. Ellie with 3 with the miss. Hornacek will retire after this season. Takes it the other way. The former walk-on at Iowa State by Ellie. Tried to slash inside and out of bounds. Off his knee. And it's off Utah and back to the Spurs.
You know, you got to wonder, why would John Stockton, Malone, or Hornacek even think about at this point retiring, the way these guys are playing against the other teams in the NBA now?
Here's Duncan, who's averaging 23 a game and has 18 tonight. On Polonese with the sweet hook shot and shoved by Polonese for the foul.
Well, and that Stockton is floating back now and going after Duncan. I was wondering why they weren't doing that much earlier, because Duncan was just isolating on his man and trying to penetrate. I would really, at this point, the way the Spurs are playing, try to force some of the outside guys to prove that they are going to make shots or even want to take them.
Here's the #1 overall selection of the draft a couple years ago at the free throw line. Duncan, the AT&T halftime report coming up as Danny Ainge, the newest member of our Turner family, and back for his second stint, joins Kenny, the Jet Smith, and Ernie Johnson. A big night of studio highlights, and with our special guest,
Run DMC.
J Master J will be there with the crew as Duncan hits another free throw. And Danny may do some rapping.
As long as he doesn't dance.
With Run. Well, I don't know. I've seen you dance. I'd like to see him dance.
He couldn't be as bad as I am.
Oh, you were good. You were real good. We're tied at 41, winding down the first half. Stockton around the screen. Tries to exploit the mismatch on Duncan. Stolen by Ellie. Here comes Porter. Seconds remaining. Into Hornacek. It won't go. And a tie. Porter.
I don't think Popovich liked that. No, he...
3 seconds remain. It's stolen by Ellie, and he throws up a wild desperation shot, which won't go. What a great second quarter by Tim Duncan. He had 14 of San Antonio's 20 points in the quarter. Duncan with 20 in the game, and he ties it for San Antonio at 41 apiece. This is TBS NBA Monday. The champion Spurs and the Jazz are tied. We go to Atlanta next.
Go to the net, NBA.com.
Michelin would like to remind you, there's only one safety feature on the road that actually touches the road. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
It's a fact. A Whopper has 40 grams of fat. But Subway has 7 delicious sandwiches with 6 grams of fat or less. To burn off those extra grams of fat, you'd have to do 1,785 jumping jacks. Subway, it's the way a sandwich should be.
And now, a simple question for everyone who isn't a millionaire quite yet.
Okay.
Where should you look on the web to get total internet service absolutely free?
Oh, I know this one. It's freei.net.
total internet service.
Yeah.
Absolutely free?
Yeah, it's freei.net.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, final answer.
freei.net.
Definitely, freei.net.
Want to phone a friend?
On January 14th, Harrison versus Banderas.
Why are you fighting?
Because they pay us.
Davidovich versus Lou.
I just don't like you.
Knockout. Incredible.
I don't like you either.
Find out who's still standing.
Kiss mine. Well, I might do that, you know? Because ever since you shave your head, you look so pretty.
Play it to the phone. Rated R.
Starts Friday, January 14th.
You wish you had a camera now, don't you? A digital camera. It's a simple way to send photos over the internet. 640 by 480 resolution is fine for websites. But for larger formats, a million pixels is a good benchmark.
If learning about digital cameras were this easy, you wouldn't need a place like 800.com. But it isn't. So you do. 800.com. Everything you always wanted from an electronics store and more.
The AT&T Halftime Report is brought to you by AT&T. It's all within your reach.
TBS NBA Monday. They have played 24 minutes at the Alamo Dome, and they're right back where they started. 41 apiece between the Utah Jazz and the San Antonio Spurs in the second game of our premier doubleheader. It's the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Lakers, who have won 14 straight. That'll come your way from the Staples Center later on the Superstations. Great way to tip off TBS NBA Monday. Run DMC doing the honors. We welcome you to the AT&T Halftime Report. Ernie Johnson in Atlanta. A bit lonely, but only a few meters away, we got company. Kenny Smith, Danny Ainge returning to Turner Sports, and Run DMC in person here in our Atlanta studio. I'm on my way, guys.
You're on your way, Ernie. Now, I've always wanted to say this, guys. You know, we had Lamar Odom here before, Mark Jackson. We had a lot of superstars on his house tonight. But tonight, it is Run DMC's house. No doubt. Y'all didn't know. But, you know, actually with the new open for the TBS, what was the inspiration to get you guys to start to do this? Oh, Jay.
Well, you know, basketball and hip-hop is like two of the same type of games, you know what I mean? And we always like to put, it's all entertainment, you know? And when TBS called us up to do it, we said, hey, let's make it happen, you know what I mean? Let's do our thing. Okay. Hip-hop with the beat.
No question. Now, I asked before, earlier, last time we talked, I said, if you were an NBA player, what style of player would you be? We know what kind of MCs y'all are and DJ. Right. But if you were, DMC, if you were an NBA player, who would you be?
Tim Duncan.
Why Tim Duncan?
Because he does what he got to do, and that's all he's focused on. He ain't got to speak to nobody, scores his points, plays his game, go home at night.
Strong, silent.
Yeah,
okay, now, Jay.
Wow, man, it'd be hard. I'd probably be like, you know,
Greg Ostertag.
Nah, a little more like Ali I. You know what I'm saying? Because Allen Iverson, to me, a lot of guards was doing it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But he came out and put an original flavor in the game. You know what I'm saying? Some real new live flavor in the game, and that's what we do with hip-hop.
Now, you know Ron's going to go next.
I'm going old school, man.
Old school?
Like Dr. J. How'd you know? Dr. J! Y'all saw my shirt. I was Dr. Joe.
Okay.
I'm Dr. J right now. Give me the ball.
Guys, how big a thrill was it for you? Remember when Golden State had the Run TMC, take off on Run DMC? Now, what was that like to see somebody adopting that in the NBA?
I discovered that in the paper. I didn't know about it. And I looked at it and I said, let me make a phone call. And we went and actually hung out with them, played ball with them. It was cool. It was cool. It was cool. You know, flattering. At the time, you know what I mean, we was really feeling my man Mark Jackson and Patrick Ewing. You know what I'm saying? We're straight up Knicks fans.
Now, did none of you guys ever want to be Danny Ainge?
Now, I seen that move y'all played at the beginning when Magic was like...
Well, you know what? There's more of that to be had. Give me the ball, will you? Just for a second.
You know what?
Thanks, Ron. I appreciate it.
You know what we could do? We could
3 on 3.
No, we can have a
ties and jackets.
A one shot. You take your best shooter. Ernie's our best shooter. And I bet you that no one on the Run DMC crew can beat Ernie Johnson here on it.
Where we shoot
from the top of the key. One shot only. Ernie, get it in there. Okay, now who's going to shoot?
Because any three of us could do them now. Any three could do them.
Straight net, Jay got him.
Straight net. Here we go.
No.
Be a nice guest now.
They got in his way. That was
okay, we couldn't show him up.
But Ernie, you got to rap now. Now you have to rap. You have to beat him in a rap.
Oh, and we'll be right back with more on the AT&T halftime report in just a second. The game is 41-41, San Antonio and Utah. I like the song you guys did about Kenny Smith before. You talk too much.
Now that's a plan. You gave me the idea? Well, maybe I vaguely inspired something. We used to charge different prices at different times. Like that long-distance nickel plan. Sometimes it's a nickel, sometimes it's a quarter. But you changed because you wanted to be more like
AT&T. 7 cents a minute, all day, every day.
Oh, you're the man. Yeah, you the candy man. You're the 7 cents man. Well, every child has a dream.
7 cents a minute, all day, every day. Even to Canada with our international plan. Call 1-800-41-RATE to enroll.
Whatever life throws your way, you've got to be ready. Hey, no sweat. You've got new Speed Stick Clear Stick. A whole new kind of clear antiperspirant. Clear Stick goes on dry to keep you dry. Clear through a guy's day. Gels go on wet, but new Clear Stick goes on clear and dry. And dry, clearly, is the whole idea. New Speed Stick Clear Stick. Goes on dry, keeps you dry.
Wrong house. Go to the next door.
TV Waterhouse, member New York Stock Exchange.
There has never been anything like The Sopranos on TV.
The greatest work of American popular culture of the last quarter century.
Groundbreaking.
Brilliant. A phenomenon.
Engrossing.
First class.
4 stars.
Perfect. A masterpiece.
What's that, a threat?
No, Tony, it's a rave review. How are you feeling now?
Good, fine. Back at work.
Wake up to the thrill of Mach 3, the first triple blade razor. You take one stroke, it takes 3. For the closest shave, in fewer strokes, with less irritation. Mach 3 from Gillette. Now, wake up and win one of 1,000 prizes instantly, including a vacation of your dreams, a BMW Z3 lease, or a Sony home entertainment system. See store displays or specially marked packs for details. Mach 3 from Gillette.
Welcome back to the AT&T halftime report. You want highlights? We got highlights. Fleet Center, Boston playing host to the Vancouver Grizzlies. That's Paul Pierce taking it hard to the hole. Grizzlies have won back-to-back games on the road. Imagine that, and they're trying to do it again. Mike Bibby. Somebody guard him, and he goes with a reverse. And at the end of the third period, Michael Dickerson, boy, he's been playing some great ball, launching a 3. And it's a 100-89 Vancouver lead as they play in the fourth. Ray Allen and the Milwaukee Bucks playing host to the Charlotte Hornets tonight. Charlotte 0-5 on their current trip. And it's Allen off the break. Now we got a little Derek Coleman, a little run DC at the end of the first quarter. And 2 S's, 2 L's, Sam Cassell. Ball fake. It says here on the shot sheet, it's tricky. That would be...
It's too tricky to rock around about the Spurs. Okay.
And
I'm
so,
a fan, they know.
Yeah, you certainly are. Guys,
Queens, it's Queens Day in here.
This is Ron, this is DMC, Jam Master Jim. Thanks for coming by, and thanks for all the work on the Open. We appreciate your involvement on that
Put
thing.
some spoofs to the NBA, you know, with the beat to the...
New disc coming out in...
Probably sometime in March.
2000.
Crown Royal. Well,
Crown
we're
Royal.
in 2000.
Arista Records.
Big up to Clive Davis, Drew
Big shout out to my man Russell Simmons, too, no doubt.
Lionel riding now.
All right.
Anybody else? Danny, say hi to the family.
Danny Ain't.
Hey, family. Hey,
fam.
My wife at home.
I'm
I'm
not
not doing
ballroom dancing anymore. No ballroom dance. I'm doing rap from now on.
That's the AT&T halftime report. Utah and San Antonio all tied up 41 apiece. One of you guys has to hit before you get out of here.
But I hit him with the fly pass.
We started out a pretty small business, but it sure wasn't small to us. We needed help, financial help. That's just what we got from the people at American Express Small Business Services. We got equipment financing for bigger stoves and faster computers, a line of credit to keep our cash flow flowing, plus the buying power to help our business grow. 1-800-SUCCESS was the best call we ever made. Like my father says, you can do anything you set your mind to, but you can't do it alone. He's right.
He had power that could not be matched, courage that could not be shaken.
I will not wear the clothes of a guilty man.
And a spirit
We gotta take it to the federal court.
Judge is gonna throw it out.
that could not be broken.
Then we transcend the law. We get back to humanity.
Golden Globe Award nominee, Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Actor, Denzel Washington. The Hurricane, rated R. Now in select theaters, opens Friday everywhere.
Statistics show when you take Motrin IB the minute you feel muscle pain, the foothills seem 15% less hilly. The local color is 33% more colorful, and your husband is 48% sweeter. When you get to the pain before the pain gets to you with Motrin IB, you'll feel like you could ride to Rome. If only you knew which road to take. Motrin IB, life is too good to feel bad.
It is more than a trial by fire. It is a rite of passage. And if you can master your fear, outsmart your enemy, and never yield, even to yourself, you will be changed forever. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Excuse me, sir. Forgot your receipt.
Checkout lines. Who needs them? This is the future of e-business.
Have a nice day. We welcome you back to the AT&T halftime report. Remember, game 2 of our doubleheader is the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Lakers from the brand spanking new Staples Center, where the Lakers are just 17-2 and 29-5 overall. And after that game inside the NBA, presented by Hyundai, join me and Kenny and Danny Ainge as we wrap up a 7-game night around the NBA. It's TBS NBA Monday, and the score's tied.
The AT&T halftime report was brought to you by AT&T. It's all within your reach.
Jack is generous.
What can I say?
Even when it comes to himself. But he might have overdone it. Solution?
Till he pays off the TV, Wendy's 99-cent super value menu with chili, chicken nuggets, baked potatoes. It's there for you.
You know, I've seen this.
So go home.
What's converging the world of communications? TI Programmable DSP. Combining voice, video, and data over a single line for more people than ever before. From the technology leader in broadband access, Texas Instruments.
Oh my God.
How long until it reaches Earth?
Rated PG-13.
MSC and Charter Communications invite you to get on board the Brewers Caravan when it rolls into your area. You can meet and eat with players and the new Brewers manager. Take pictures with the players and get their autographs. Plus, you could even win team merchandise or tickets. So join the Brewers for another great season and be part of the excitement when the caravan stops in your city. Join the Brewers in Hayward for dinner at the LCO Convention Center. Call LCO or the Boys and Girls Club for tickets and information.
At Superior Bank, we help homeowners. That's what we do. And we've been busy helping homeowners in all kinds of credit and income situations for over 75 years. Consolidating your high-interest credit card debt, reducing the number of your monthly payments to just one, and getting you the cash you need when you need it. Working with you, simply, easily, and honestly. That's Superior Bank at 1-888-678-7777.
The best thing to do in January is think about summer. What comes to mind is boating. Four Winds and Crestliner leave the competition in their wake when it comes to quality. And Wissota Marina makes the quality easy and affordable to own during their big open house from the 6th to the 16th. Get up to $1,000 cash back on Four Winds family runabouts and great specials on Crestliner fishing boats. It's summer in January at Wissota Marina's big open house on Lake Wissota.
At Mega, we care about the entire family, and for many of us, that includes our pets. Whether your pet is a new family member or a longtime faithful companion.
Mega's King of the Jungle Pet Centers carry everything you need to care for man's best friend, including some mega-sized items.
So remember, when it comes to caring for all your family members, Mega is the only stop you need.
Through the NBA season, and he was just a little bit off to the side, but they made $1,000, and the other fella got a nice prize pack from TBS. So part of the promotion, part of the festivities of TBS NBA Monday. And John, some first half thoughts from you. How about some thoughts on that shot?
I think an understatement is a wide right.
What'd you think of our first half?
Well, you know, the thing that I found very interesting is the body language of the Spurs. I think that they definitely should show a lot more confidence being the champion. If I'm Utah, I don't feel bad if I'm playing the world champion and I'm in that court. I want to either lead or tie. You know, particularly as much as John Stockton has set out in this game, you know, Utah's got to feel a little good about this thing.
So here we go, beginning the second half. It'll be Stockton with Russell, Polynice, Malone, and Hornacek. And off the screen comes Stockton, picked up by Avery Johnson. The drive into a thicket of Spurs defenders. Russell for three. One away to begin the second half for the Utah Jazz.
Well, it's interesting. You know, that team constantly improves, and they try to get people involved. The thing that I would watch out for is that Karl Malone only has 7 points, and we know that he's going to start looking for his shot. He should.
Avery Johnson.
He's got to have some penetration here.
Jackson got a screen from Robinson. In fact, he got two, which opens up that shot and the rebound by Polynice.
Well, that's one of the reasons they miss Sean, because Sean is able to create a lot better than a lot of their perimeter players in being able to go inside.
Let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, Jerry Sloan felt the same way that Coach Thompson did. He was very happy that the team was tied at halftime. He said the key was rebounding. They had a 21-18 edge, and they held the Spurs to only one offensive rebound. Meanwhile, Greg Popovich says he's tired of seeing John Stockton run around the court any place he wants, particularly along the baseline. Kevin?
All right, Craig, thank you. Missed shot by Russell. Here comes Avery Johnson the other way. Ellie to Jackson. And into David Robinson, the 1995 MVP in the NBA on his pogo stick. Malone wins the battle there as he knocks it away.
Well, David almost picked up a cheap foul right after it. I think he was frustrated because Malone went up to block it, but he reached in, and the foul could have been called. You're not getting a lot of motion out of the Spurs offense.
Foul is inside. It's David Robinson who picks up his 4th personal foul.
Well, and I think he picked it up as a result of what happened at the other end of the floor. You know, he's trying to become more aggressive, and I think David has become too unselfish offensively. He's too talented to be as passive as he is on offense.
And a technical foul on David Robinson, who said something to Monty McCutcheon. A technical foul on Popovich. Bang, bang, 1-2. We can't read lips, but we can certainly decipher in our own pedestrian way what was said. And it was not.
A little French. A little French was spoken out there.
Well, John is a guy that never got a technical himself.
Come on.
And Hornacek, who is the #1 free throw shooter in the NBA and had a string of 67 consecutive free throws at one time this season, misses the first technical free throw. And does get the second.
Well, and I don't think those texts are that ill-advised at this point of the game, because I think particularly Greg Popovich is trying to wake his team up. I mean, you want to see a little bit more emotions. You want to see them get a little juiced up, and particularly on defense. You know, you can't play against a team like this and be that passive.
This equals Utah's biggest lead. Hornacek for three. Rebound fought for, claimed by Jackson. Foul inside. Malik Rose was there. And Malik Rose picks up the foul for the San Antonio Spurs. He, John, has 4.
Well, the team actually is stumbling right now. I think they're trying to find themselves, and they've got to get charged up a little bit more. And I think the best way to do it is to get your perimeter defense going a little bit. Try to get out and get some fast breaks. At the other end, get some penetration where they're standing so much.
Colonies, the pump fake and the try by Rose, and Olden Colonies can't hit. Rebound by Duncan, who collected 20 points in the first half off to Avery Johnson. Johnson picked up by Stockton. 2 minutes into the third quarter. They double Duncan. It's Johnson to Jackson. It's a 3.
Well, that's what he can do. I mean, if you drop it inside, they collapse back, you kick it out to him, he can hit that shot.
John Stockton, who says he'll play this year and one more after it, drives inside, dumping to Polonese. Polonese, John, has been a great find for the Utah Jazz as Ellie picks up the foul.
Well, he's been a tremendous find, but in looking at this rotation here, Jern drops it in, the defense collapsed back. You know, they kick it around. Jern is standing out, you know, and has an easy open shot. But the only thing about that is that's what the Spurs have been doing. If Utah does not collapse back, they're getting no movement in their offense.
Olden Polonese, who played last year for Seattle, burned a bridge there, and he did before that in Sacramento, but he's been nothing but a model citizen with Utah.
Well, in particular against this big team, he's another big body. When you put him in the game again with Karl Malone, you know, he's able to, particularly when the Spurs have that double post in, he's able to be a factor out there.
Duncan contorting his body, can't get it to go.
I tell you what, Malone is becoming a factor blocking shots at the basket. I haven't seen him do that as much as he's doing tonight.
The other way, Johnson into Hornacek, into the hole for 2.
And that's what has to happen, to get this crowd in it, to step the tempo up. You can't throw the ball up and just depend on Duncan totally.
Karl Malone, 11-time All-Star, had it knocked away. Shot clock is down to 6. Stockton around the Malone screen by Johnson, by Duncan. And the rebound by Tim Duncan with a loose ball foul. Assessed Utah, and it goes on Polonese. He's got 2.
You know, with Robinson out of the game, you know, you're able to spot up a whole lot more on Duncan. I mean, they've got the whole team. All 5 of the guys took a shot at this guy. You know, they're standing around. Usually David would be there and be another option.
It's Tim Duncan.
You know, the thing that scares me, Kevin, is that as good as Tim Duncan is, there's starting to become too much of a reliance, if that can possibly be on him, by the other players who have offensive ability. They're standing around defensively, they're standing around offensively, and waiting for Tim Duncan to do a lot of things. And when you play against a team like Utah, other people have to get involved in this game a little bit more.
Duncan tonight, 23 points and 8 rebounds. San Antonio, a perfect 10 of 10 from the free throw line tonight. And Russell working on Jackson. Into Malone. And a foul called inside. It's the second on Tim Duncan.
Well, and based on the fact that Malone did not take many shots in the first half, you've got to spot up on him a little bit. As much as they are a team, most players are conscious of the statistics. that they have. He only had made 7 points in the first half. This guy scored over 27,000 points. You got to expect him to step up offensively now.
Malone missing the first. The 4th leading scorer in the NBA as we swing it over to Craig Sager.
I know it's early in the year, but frustration may be showing on the part of San Antonio, and in particular David Robinson, who at times has been criticized for not showing enough passion on the court. He picked up a technical tonight. He also had one Saturday against Orlando. The first time in his 10-year career he's had technicals in back-to-back games. Kevin?
You wonder if he's feeling great report, Craig. You wonder, John, if he's feeling the frustration of his own body like you talked about before. His health has now, I think, become an issue with this.
Well, and I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. You don't want to see him get technical fouls, but David has got to show more emotions because he's too good of a player. And I think that sacrifice thing has been carried too far. A guy of that talent, he's got to participate in order for this Spurs team to really be successful.
Duncan's got 25. Russell over Jackson. Conley's trying to tap it. Picked inside by Russell, a fresh 24, and out to John Stockton.
Well, the Spurs have to rebound. They're terrible on the defensive board, and you never should be terrible. The least you can do is box out.
Avery Johnson with the steal ahead to Mario Ellie to the trailing high. Rebound by Malik Rose inside. Triple teamed and stripped of the ball by Stockton. 3-on-2. Malone from Stockton. Counted for 2 and a foul.
See, and that frustration started with the fact that maybe Ellie should have taken that shot. You know, he was extremely unselfish by passing the ball back. Jaren Jackson, a person who has been with a lot of ball clubs in the NBA, told me that this team is probably as unselfish as any team that he's ever played with in the NBA. Sometimes unselfishness is not a good trait.
One of the 50 greatest players in the history of the NBA, Karl Malone. And he does complete the three-point play, which puts Utah back on top, 52-51, with 7:13 to play here in the third quarter. Duncan, 25 points. Avery Johnson. Mario Ellie. John Ellie ramming his way into Hornacek.
Well, I don't know that I agree with that. I don't know at all that I agree with that.
The third on Ellie.
I don't think Ellie agreed with it either. Look, he's still got his palms up in the air. He better pick his man up. He's still fussing at the official.
And he's a veteran. He's the guy they kind of lean on to be rock solid. Hornacek, easy beat the Colonies. Rejected by Duncan. And a charge on Colonies. Colonies picks up his 4th foul. He got that arm off on Duncan. Now this place has happened. A technical foul called on Mario Ellie when we come back.
Percy, want to take it out first?
No, you go ahead.
No, I insist. Hey, shot. My foul.
No, your ball.
No, I think I got a little piece of your shirt.
Let's use your ball.
Great, move. You take it out. Game.
No, I think I stepped out of bounds. See?
Hey, let's play one more game.
All right, you take it out.
I'm not going to take it out because I want you to take it out.
Grandpa? Hey, boo-boo. I'm glad you're on time.
Designed to give you even more of that same old feeling. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
TBS NBA Monday is brought to you by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. Drivers want it. And by Daytech Online. The rules of online trading are changing.
Well, in the last 4 minutes, we've had 3 technical fouls charged on the San Antonio Spurs. And the latest to get teed up was Mario Ellie right there.
Well, and a lot of the Jazz have been to acting school. You know, every time you see these guys play, they fall, they stumble, they're hurt. And they do a great job at that as well as execute their offense. And they're great at baiting the officials into fouls. That can create frustration in the opponent, as obviously it seems to be doing with the Spurs now.
So that's what that free throw by Hornacek was all about. The technical on Ellie as we were heading to break. 6:48 to play. In the span of 4 minutes, David Robinson, the coach Greg Popovich, and now Mario Ellie have all been teed up. And Utah enjoys a 2-point lead, their biggest lead 4. San Antonio earlier led by 5. Both teams are shooting in the low 40s tonight from the field. Duncan to Ellie for 2. Rebound by Karl Malone. He's 12th in rebounding, and Johnny collects his 8th of the game there.
Well, and really the Spurs have to hit that open shot, because what's going to happen, they're standing around, and Malone is going to be just standing under the basket and be very capable of rebounding.
Ostertag couldn't harness the pass from Malone. And out of bounds it goes off of Malik Rose with 8 seconds to shoot and 6:12 to play in the third. Tim Duncan has been the 4th for San Antonio's scoring tonight. Malone to Ostertag, picked up by Rose. Mismatch in favor of Ostertag, we think. Rose played him well. Here comes Duncan.
Maybe it wasn't a mismatch.
Avery Johnson collides with Stockton. The charge on Johnson. He's got 2. Sometimes you got to rub your eyes. You don't believe what you see.
Well, San Antonio is getting out on the break, and that's what they have to do. But obviously, you have to pull up and take a shot. They're experiencing a lot of frustration, and this is a great play by Ellie.
Mario Ellie puts it down. A guy who used to play pickup games in New York with our Kenny Smith back in the summers when he would leave American University.
Boy, this Spurs team has to get mad at someone other than the officials right now, Kevin. I mean, I think they're disgusted with how the game is being officiated. That's a part of the game. Now you've got to play against the Utah Jazz.
We're tied at 53. Hornacek. Rebound by Ellie. Down court for Jackson. With the hesitation, he will reload with Ellie feeding to Johnson.
Well, good judgment. He pulled up rather than force a shot. And that's what they've got to get. They've got to get that penetrating basket there.
Duncan comes down hard. 3-on-2. Stockton to the line.
I mean, these guys are poised. You know, I mean, they answer every run that you make at them. And that's the thing that people fear about them, because they're just like a smooth running machine, the Utah Jazz, and they just play.
Rejected by Ostertag is Duncan. It's a 3-on-3, and Stockton will whittle his way in, feeding off to Hornacek with under 5 to play in the third quarter. Utah shooting 40%. Stockton with the screen from Hornacek, can't get it to go. Jackson is there. He'll lead the break at 3-on-2. Puts the defense, drives inside, and out of bounds. It's knocked. And a foul is called inside on Stockton.
Well, and looking at this play, you know, Duncan really hit the floor hard on this one. You know, he went back, and I wondered whether he hurt his elbow because he landed down there. The kid is so competitively tough that he responds extremely well to adversity. I think the rest of the team, the Spurs, had better realize by winning that championship, along with it comes a bullseye on your back. And everybody that comes in this place is going to play them hard and play them aggressively because they want what they have, that NBA championship.
Helped that way by the guy at the free throw line right now, Jaren Jackson, who was outstanding, absolutely on fire in the playoffs a season ago. His shooting was a key component for the Spurs. Now, Howard Isley is in the game. Stockton is on the bench. And Isley feeds Russell, who knocks him down.
You know, the defense is something. The perimeter defense, as Greg Popovich said, needs a lot to be improved. Particularly, you never realized that Sean Elliott had that much of an impact on their defense, but these guys are getting open and getting easy shots.
Jackson looking for Duncan, and off the hands of the defending Brian Russell and out of bounds with 10 seconds to shoot. And some of the shooting in this quarter as Antonio Daniels comes back in. Both teams have hit 5 shots so far. Terry Porter is in the game. So Rose, Daniels, Porter, Jackson, and Duncan, the San Antonio 5. The Spurs are shooting 42% from the field. So a small lineup in now for San Antonio.
Well, it is a small lineup, but what is impressive is that they're still in a position where they're in a two-point ball game, and particularly with so much of a reliance on Duncan. If the rest of the players get loose and get involved in this ball game, you could wonder how tough this team could be, and you've got to realize that David Robinson hasn't played that much.
Little isolation on Ostertag by Duncan, who knocks it away. Ostertag with a wonderful play inside, and the shot clock, John, has wound its way down to 2. The arguing is that Malone thinks that it was off San Antonio, but truly the Spurs will inbound. Yet 2 seconds to shoot on the clock.
You go to Duncan.
A 3 by Tim Duncan. Duncan with the miss. He has never hit a three-point shot.
But boy, can he make twos.
All day long, huh?
Can he make twos?
All day
I wouldn't want to take a three-point shot if I was 7 feet tall and could make twos the way he does, too.
Here's Hornacek. Shot clock here down to 6. Antonio Daniels, screened by Ostertag. Ball charged free. Picked up by Terry Porter. 3-on-1. The fake and the drive. A paralyzing move. A paralyzing move by Terry Porter. Hornacek at the other end, untouched and uncovered.
Because they're not responding. They went down on a break, and you've got to get back. Utah stepped out and threw the ball down court. Because some of the players on Utah never came across the half-court line.
Wants to clear out. Illegal defense. Illegal defense. They haven't signaled yet. Joe Forty has seen something, and he'll go over to the official scores table. I don't know if it was a clock problem or whatever.
You know, and the thing that is really amazing, that these two teams both have an abundance of experienced players on their team, and it's amazing how well they have learned how to officiate over the years. When you get older players, they're very much willing to help the officials call the game much rapidly.
There was an inadvertent whistle, so they reset the shot clock to 14. Here's Tim Duncan. That's too bad because there was 2 seconds left on the...
It was only inadvertently after the Utah players indicated where the Spurs player was standing.
Antonio Daniels with 3 with the miss. Rebound fought for and claimed by Brian Russell.
But again, only one Spurs on the offensive board, and that's Tim Duncan. And these guys have to become more aggressive. They've got this small lineup in the game, but they've got to be aggressive in helping out, particularly on the defensive board.
Terry Porter, some 10 years with the Portland Trail Blazers. Last year with Miami is on Isley. Isley, the former Timberwolves draftee, provides and hits. He's bounced around the league. He was on back San Antonio for 20 games a couple years ago. And now he may represent the future after Stockton in the Utah backcourt.
And the way he's playing today represents the presence, doesn't it?
Right. Here's Porter off the road with the fake and a drive. And the rebound yanked down by Karl Malone. He has another. That's his 9th of the game. Hornacek to Isley. Squeezes one inside for Malone. What a press by Isley.
Boy, he did a great job of stealing Duncan and caught him on the break, which shows exactly Utah players reacted immediately and dumped it into him before 3 seconds could be called.
Utah's got their biggest lead, 63-57, as Duncan takes it in an Ostertag, swirls into Hornacek, and can't get it. Foul called on Ostertag. He picks up his 3rd. Karl Malone with 15 points and 9 rebounds. The assist there by Isley gives Utah their biggest lead tonight.
Here's the winning grand prize entry number of the NBA Fantasy Game Room with the Sony Home Entertainment Center. Check your TBS NBA Monday game piece for the winning number and log on to NBA.com for a complete listing of winning entry numbers. Brought to you by Topps, Fleer, and Upper Deck NBA Trading Cards.
Until now, there has been a wall between you and the tools of serious trading. That wall is coming down. The information and technology professionals use to trade is now available to everyone. Daytech Online. The rules are changing.
When looking for a newer used vehicle, you want to go to a dealer you can trust. At Johnson Motors, you'll always find quality service and customer satisfaction. You can expect competitive prices on the latest Pontiacs, Buicks, and GMC trucks, as well as our huge selection of quality used vehicles. Check out this 99 Bonneville, 17,000 miles, only $16,985. And this 99 Century, 18,000 miles, only $14,395. Remember, when the products are similar, it's the dealer that makes the difference. Johnson Motors, Menominee.
Unleash the power of Charter Digital Cable. Get ready for more movies, more channels, more choices, more entertainment, all through the cable that's already in your home. Get more with Charter Digital Cable from Charter Communications, a wired world company.
Once upon a time, winter meant hibernation. I couldn't get to work. My wife was stuck too, and Junior was clawing at the walls. So we three bears got 3 snapper snow throwers. A snapper for Junior, a snapper for Mama Bear, and one for me. Any size snapper goes through snow like a grizzly. Your family will be free and clear in no time and live happily ever after. Nuts to nuts and berries. We're going out for porridge.
See these snapper dealers. Eau Claire Lawn Equipment.
Every day across America, more and more children are improving their reading because of Hooked on Phonics.
Dylan was just struggling, having a hard time getting through a book.
He used Hooked on Phonics for only 4 weeks, and I was amazed at the progress he had made over the summer.
Hooked on Phonics really works.
Use Hooked on Phonics and see the improvement in your child's reading in just 4 weeks, or your money back. We guarantee it.
Call to order, and with your paid order, get the World Book Encyclopedia on CD-ROM free. Call 1-888-ABCDEFG.
That kind of voice, that mental toughness.
Well, and they still need it. I think he's more frustrated with the officials, but he can't let it affect the team. That was a great pass by Isley.
Isley with the alley-oop to Ostertag, 65-59. Isley has been sensational tonight, replacing the foul-prone Stockton with 5 assists.
Well, it's interesting because when do you see Jazz players get alley-oop passes?
Isley with the steal right there. Racing the other way, picked up by Terry Porter. And off to rookie Quincy Lewis, who led the Big Ten a season ago in scoring. Isley feeling it. 9 to shoot, working on Porter.
He's got to run the offense, though, because Duncan is staying there waiting.
Wow, a 3 by Isley. He drills it from the side.
This kid's confidence has really risen, too. I mean, this is bad news for a lot of people. If he starts to play well, particularly when John Stockton is not in the game.
Utah's been outstanding in three-point shooting as Porter. This is the 2, rebound by Malone. Utah, 6 of 9 shooting threes. Malone's got the double-double, 15 points and 10 rebounds. Isley, who grew up in Detroit, went to Boston College. He's a free agent after this season. And with Stockton in foul trouble, this kid has come to the fore. And hooks it to Karl Malone, who drives on Duncan through a thicket of defenders. Can't make it work. Rebound, Ostertag inside. Flips it out to Lewis.
Again, the defensive board. The Spurs have to keep him off the defensive board. It's ridiculous. I mean, you've got to box out. You can't totally depend on Duncan to that extent.
Karl Malone, 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists, 8 in the third quarter. He gives Utah their biggest lead tonight, 68-59, on TBS NBA Monday.
Nothing tops ice cream better than Hershey's chocolate syrup. So feel free to pour it on. But do watch out for those cherries.
Exciting episode of...
the Sony home entertainment universe. Until now, there has been a wall between you and the tools of serious trading. That wall is coming down. The information and technology professionals use to trade is now available to everyone. Daytech Online. The rules are changing.
People really like SUVs.
They're big, they're roomy.
They're perfect for the outdoors.
You know what would be a great promotion? Rent a Ford Explorer for the price of our Taurus if you climb Mount Everest.
Let's just do the Explorer for the price of our Taurus.
That's a great deal. I would have to agree.
Yeah.
It's a good deal, good
Sums it
car.
up. Very nice.
We are deep in the heart of Texas tonight. The Alamo City. This is TBS NBA Monday. Utah with the lead of 68-59 as we start the fourth quarter. Here is tonight's budget rent-a-car fast break. You can see some pretty good numbers put up by the Utah Jazz.
Well, yeah, and I think, you know, the thing that has disappointed me the most, besides the fact that Utah is playing well, is that the Spurs are responding to the officials far more than they're responding to the challenge of a team that they're going to have to compete with to get back to the championship.
Well, on this trip through Texas, Utah has already beaten Houston. They've already beaten Dallas, but they've never beaten all three on the same trip, ever. Tonight may change that trend. We begin the fourth quarter. Duncan and Ostertag dancing outside the lane. And Tim Duncan puts it in. He's got 29 tonight.
Well, if they're going to win, it's going to be Duncan that gets them there. And they're relying so heavily on him that if he's not successful, they're going to have a big problem.
David Robinson is in the game. The pass inside to Lewis. Picked up by Ostertag. Robinson knocked it away, and here comes Terry Porter the other way.
You know, I expect Porter to come up big now, too, because this is the fourth quarter, and he's got to be ready to play.
Robinson and Malone shoving inside, and here comes Howard Isley in the same backcourt with John Stockton. Isley playing the two, Stockton the point. Here's Malone to Stockton. Outside to Isley. Daniels is there. Stockton. Great ball rotation. Isley. Ostertag is open. What passing by Utah?
They're picking them apart. That was a great play. You know, good ball movement, good patience. They can distract you with how they play, but they, in turn, keep their focus on what they're doing.
Here's the tag. Lewis both doubling on Duncan. Utah, John, you're right. Utah is carving up San Antonio.
Well, they're picking them apart,
like this.
and they do things to distract you, but yet they keep their focus. You know, they pass, hit the open man. You know, now he ends up getting an easy basket. That's the thing. You know, David got angry. He came back. They're pounding, and David is trying to retaliate. He's getting frustrated. You want to see David become more physical. You want to see him become more active. Of all the technical fouls, his probably was the best to have had because you want to see him get emotionally involved in the game because that's not indicative of his temperament.
San Antonio is at every free throw tonight, 15 of 15. And John, for the season, they're only 74%. But tonight, a pristine 15 of 15. Now 16 for 16. Malone is on the bench. They've got Armin Gilliam, the newest Utah player in the game. He was in Orlando's camp, injured and waived. Last year played with Milwaukee.
And it's going to be very interesting to see what Gilliam does now because it's going to be extremely important with Malone out of the game for him to get in it now and get himself involved.
Ostertag over Robinson. Rebound by Tim Duncan. Duncan collects his 10th rebounds. No player in the NBA over the last 2 years has more double-doubles than Tim Duncan. Robinson cuts the
lead. Good move, and that's what's got to happen. David's got to get involved in this thing while playing against the players and not the official and getting himself too upset. I mean, he's a great player. He's got to become attacking. He's got to attack the basket a lot more.
It's a 5-point game. The rookie Lewis. Handcuffed in a straitjacket put on him by Kersey. Stockton. Gilliam. 3 to shoot. And Gilliam had it knocked away. Ostertag can't get it in. Kersey is there. And a foul called on Gilliam. And a technical call on Gilliam. Now who's losing their composure?
Very ill-advised, I think, on Gilliam's part, but he experienced a little bit of frustration. I think he's going through the process of trying to learn what they want done, and he became frustrated. But you don't want to create a technical foul in this arena because the crowd's going to react to it and try to get the Spurs involved in the game a lot more. That tends to help the Spurs a lot more than it helps the Utah team.
Two-time All-Star Terry Porter at the free throw line, a great career free throw shooter at 84%, born and raised in Milwaukee, and the youngest of 9 children. You know that this guy has faced more pressure than where he is right now as Duncan straightens out the net.
He does everything. I'm looking for him to get a broom and sweep up the floor. He's doing everything for the team.
And the technical on Gilliam results in a Spurs point. And Robinson right here with the great move across the lane, jousting with Ostertag. It's now a 4-point game at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio.
Introducing the all-new Hyundai Accent. It gives you a serious array of responsible features without losing its wild side. The 2000 Accent from Hyundai with the freedom of America's best warranty.
Michael and Brendan play football.
Maggie and John basketball.
With this many family members.
So many choices. How do I know what's right for my family or my pocketbook?
Take the worry out of home building and remodeling. Let the experts at Independent Flooring help you choose the floor covering that best suits your lifestyle and budget. IFC's experienced, knowledgeable staff will help you plan your project from beginning through completion. And you can always expect a fair price. So let IFC make your dreams a reality with the comfort of knowing that we stand behind what you're standing on.
We're IFC.
Television sets equipped with the new V-chip are now available. This system allows you to program your television to control the programs your children watch. Use the TV parental guidelines to choose programming best suited for your family. The V-chip and TV parental guidelines. Together, your guide to better family viewing. For a free booklet, call toll-free 1-877-2-VCHIP-TV or visit our website at tvguidelines.org.
In the game tonight, we've got 5 All-Stars with 30 combined All-Star appearances. Malone, Stockton, and Hornacek, Duncan and Robinson. And, of course, you've got Terry Porter, who's played in a couple. A litany of great players in this game. Here's the aforementioned Porter climbing down the lane, feeding for Robinson. Got tangled up with Gilliam, out of bounds and off San Antonio.
Well, and David wasn't expecting that. You know, Porter drove to the basket, and that's one of the things I think they have to attack more. To be a championship team, I think they have to be far more aggressive than they've been in this game.
Malone is still on the bench for the Utah Jazz. It's the rookie Lewis into Gilliam. Gilliam is picked up by Duncan. Shot clock is at 7. Suffocating defense by San Antonio, one of the best defensive teams in the NBA, but they find it flat, and they get it inside to Lewis. His first 2 tonight, and a fine feed by Gilliam.
It was a great pass by Gilliam, and he's still tentative in trying to run their offense. Stockton isn't able to run the 2-on-2s with him in the same manner that he is with Malone.
Utah's on top by 6, and a foul is assessed inside on Gilliam with the shove. Then he's got 3. Coming into tonight, Utah 6 consecutive wins, 14 of 17 wins. They've won 2 straight on the road. They lead the division by a half game over the world champion San Antonio Spurs. Early foul trouble for Robinson and Stockton. The game has not changed that much. Tim Duncan has been outstanding. Duncan in the game tonight. 33 points. The foul on Ostertag. 5 on Ostertag.
Well, and looking at that, you know, that's just a tremendous shot to go in, to absorb the body contact, and just lay it up and put it in. This kid is a truly something special. I'm glad to have an opportunity to see him play in person because he's just outstanding. He seems to be playing against his Utah team by himself right now.
The first,
particularly offensively, excuse me.
Absolutely. The first missed free throw tonight by the Spurs. They're now 17 of 18. Approaching 8 minutes to play. Screen by Ostertag to Isley.
Great screen. Isley used the screen extremely well, and that's what they're... I'm just wondering whether the Spurs, who said that they looked at their offense against Utah as an example, maybe they have too much respect for their offense because they certainly aren't defending it aggressively and confidently.
Everybody clinging to Duncan, but no one's on Porter. Good. Porter was wide open.
Well, and you need more of that. You need more of that. If they hit those shots, it'll open it up for David and Duncan inside. They hit those shots, penetrate and get out and drive, get out and break some.
Terry Porter can be treacherous from outside with the three. It's Gilliam. Feeding to Ostertag. Back to Gilliam. Looking for Ostertag. Threw it away. Picked up by Robinson.
Very tentative. Very tentative.
Duncan galloping down court. And a foul called on the Utah Jazz. It goes on Howard Isley. Make it Lewis with his fourth.
Well, and look at this. They stepped up their defense. People are active. Hands out.
You're so excited you got choked up on the play.
Well, it's about time somebody got choked because the Spurs have been so docile on defense that when they get out there and they start to be active, it is exciting. That looked like championship defense that they just played. Hands were in the passing lane. They were able to get out and create a problem.
Mario Ellie will check back in as he now has collected himself. Kersey will leave as Tim Duncan's at the free throw line, a guy who was born and raised in the Virgin Islands and swam as a youngster. Didn't play basketball. He was a swimmer. And you can see coming up game 2, we'll swim out to L.A. with the Lakers and the Nuggets coming up right after this one.
Well, in half of those stories you hear about those people you never believe, but looking at this kid play today, Kevin, I believe he can do anything.
His sister was an Olympic swimmer from the Virgin Islands.
Is that right?
Yeah. Duncan has 34 tonight. Malone is still on the bench. No, he's in there right now working on Duncan. It's tapped by Russell. It's loose and retrieved by Daniels. It's a 3-on-2. Daniels inside. Duncan puts it in. We are tied at 74. Was inside trying to guard Stockton, and a foul is called with Ellie, who picks up his fourth. Daniels escaped.
Kevin, take a look at Duncan now. I mean, this kid gets out, he rebounds, he blocks shots, and now he's coming down the floor. Just by continuing the hustle in the play, he puts himself in that position.
Bud Light. Aren't you forgetting something? Oh, my wallet.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Oops, I'll get it.
Sonata from Hyundai with the freedom of America's best warranty.
From a backyard hoop to the death row gym, that's where two bars started for the Jack and Kim. They pick their spots and make their shots in just 60 seconds. They can get red hot. Get red hot. Their teamwork won from city to city. Passing and shooting had them getting pretty. Jack and Kim might have started small, but to prove that anyone can win it all. NBA 2-ball. That NBA 2-ball. Take the shot.
The amazing world of Ripley's. Stories you can't imagine. People you won't believe. With host Dean Cain. Ripley's Believe It or Not. Wednesday night at 8:05 Eastern, exclusively on the Superstation.
Tim Duncan tonight has been spectacular. 36 points, his career high 42. He has 11 rebounds. And he is in a dominating mode. Robinson has been quiet. It's been all Tim Duncan for the Spurs tonight.
Well, Kevin, indeed, you know, it's a pleasure to watch this man play. I don't even think statistically you can account for the impact that he's had on this game and on this team.
Here comes Stockton. Malone falls down. Daniels is all over Stockton. Olden Polynice is in. Lost the ball. Robinson knocked it away. Utah, their first turnover since midway through the third quarter. Duncan again. Doubled. The illegal defense or a push, and it's a foul called on Polynice. He's got 5. San Antonio was down by 9 with 10:50 left. They're on a 13-4 run to pull even now at 74, with Duncan given the chance to give the team the lead with 6:24 to play.
Well, and the interesting thing about it is that how long can they afford to let Duncan carry this team until the other players emotionally and physically get involved against a good team like this? Tonight they've been lucky. They're in this ball game, but in the same token, they could have easily been out if it hadn't been for Duncan's energy level.
38 for Duncan. San Antonio plus 10 and free throws made. Isley, Stockton, intercepted by Daniels. Buckle up for Antonio Daniels.
That was great.
We just saw men fly. 78-74 San Antonio. Stockton deploys a shot, which is good.
And now you see better defense from the Spurs. But again, that steadily run machine of Utah is still very fluidly running. These guys are confident, and they play well together.
Avery Johnson out to Daniels. Duncan's got 38. Little two-man game with Duncan. They double him again with Isley and Polynice into Johnson. Rejected by Russell. And a 24-second shot clock violation on the San Antonio Spurs.
Well, and looking at San Antonio, they're rotating now and becoming far more active, and that precipitated this. He's able to get out, and that got the crowd involved.
Watch this kid take off. Wow! San Antonio by 2, another steal. Here comes Daniels, leading it 2-on-1. Ellie can't find the handle. Utah is shooting 44%. So is San Antonio tonight. Here's Stockton. Malone, well below his season average of 26. Ellie will tail Russell. Feeding outside. And Isley with the rare miss. And a fresh 24 for the Utah Jazz.
Well, and these guys take their time and execute. You can't afford to let them get an offensive rebound like that because they'll pull it back out and come up with a foul or a basket.
Karl Malone inside, driving and can't get it to go. The rebound by Tim Duncan.
Who else? Who else? He's done everything.
He's got 12 rebounds and 38 points. San Antonio, every chamber filled this quarter. 6 of 8. Duncan, the fake. He's got 40. Tim Duncan has scored 40.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I mean, this is unbelievable. This kid is something special. And that demeanor, the calm demeanor in the midst of all this excitement and making those precious shots are unbelievable.
Now that's a plan. You gave me the idea? Well, maybe I vaguely inspired something. We used to charge different prices at different times. Like that long-distance nickel plan. Sometimes it's a nickel, sometimes it's a quarter. But you changed because you wanted to be more like
AT&T. 7 cents a minute, all day, every day.
Oh, you're the man.
Yeah,
you the candy man. You're the 7 cents man. Well, every child has a dream.
7 cents a minute, all day, every day. Even to Canada with our international plan. Call 1-800-41-RATE to enroll.
Introducing the all-new Hyundai Accent. It gives you a serious array of responsible features without losing its wild side. The 2000 Accent from Hyundai, with the freedom of America's best warranty.
Until now, there has been a wall between you and the tools of serious trading. That wall is coming down. The information and technology professionals use to trade is now available to everyone. Daytech Online. The rules are changing.
The NBA on TNT tomorrow night. The Minnesota Timberwolves are alive and kicking. They're back over 500, and tomorrow night they take on Miami. It's the Heat and Timberwolves tomorrow night on TNT. Great matchup there. Wonderful matchup here. The key here is Malik Sealy. Since they put him as the number 2 guard, John Thompson, Minnesota has thrived.
Yeah, and Sealy has been extremely active, and he's also shooting the ball well, which gives him that outside shooting that they need to open up Garnett. 17
for Malone. He's averaging 26 a game. And it's a Utah deficit of 2. Trying for tying his career high. It's Duncan with a jump ball, and Karl Malone. What a call. Great defense by Karl Malone.
Well, it was great one-on-one defense. You know, the big boy has been going one-on-one and trying to go. Karl gets out there, and he legitimately blocks it.
It's been a jaw-dropping performance tonight for Tim Duncan. 40 points, 40 of San Antonio's 80 points. Incredible.
Boy, I looked at this team earlier, and I said there's no way they'll repeat. And now, to see what Duncan is doing, I said there's no way you can count them out.
Here's Stockton. Corkscrewing his way around. Karl Malone misses everything. Russell with the surge inside. Well, hold on. Let's see what they're going to do and who they're going to award the ball to. It's San Antonio. Oh, it's Utah's ball. They make the change. Utah gets it back. 3 minutes and 7 seconds to play. Malone finds Stockton.
Now it's very crucial for the Spurs to get on the defensive boards. You can't keep letting this happen.
Stockton the drive. And he spoon feeds Malone. Over Duncan.
Again, Utah knocked it out of bounds, but they got their hands on it. You've got to touch these guys.
The Spurs lead by 2, 80-78. Inside Duncan working on Karl Malone, one-on-one. No defensive help here. Last time it was a jump ball. Tim Duncan has just tied his career high, 42 points. He has scored more than half of San Antonio's points tonight.
I thought he had scored them all.
Hornacek. Oh, Duncan fell. Malone falls. The ball is out of bounds. It goes back to the Spurs. And a foul called on Malone.
Boy, I think Tim Duncan gave him a little bit of his own medicine, that acting school deal. They go across, he pushed him, but I don't think he pushed him that hard for him to fall in that manner. This is really a competitive game, but Tim Duncan is doing a little bit at every end of the court. I should say a whole lot.
Look at that comparison. 42 points in 43 minutes. And then David Robinson, who got in early foul trouble, but is in the game now. with Daniels, Ellie, Johnson, and Robinson with it, joining Duncan on the front line. And Duncan has it again. Why not keep going to him, huh?
Well, I mean, you've got to be crazy if you don't. It's been a long time since I've seen a center dominate a game like this.
Tim Duncan with the career high, 44 points. He is roasting Utah. This match, Duncan is on Stockton. That means Avery Johnson is guarding Malone. Let's see if they exploit. Robinson got there, but too late. And a foul is called inside on the point guard, Avery Johnson.
I mean, you can't say enough about this man. When is the last time you've seen a team at any level where a center has dominated the game offensively by isolating him on a basketball court? This young man, the last time I saw this happen was Bill Walton in the NCAA tournament many years ago to do this. But this young man is just dominating this game.
When Walton was 21 of 22 from the field.
That's exactly right.
And they beat Memphis State.
I mean, but a quality team, Kevin, like Utah, to see somebody just isolated like that, you know where they're going, everybody in the building, and he's still being successful.
Duncan tonight, 16 of 27 from the field, 12 of 14 from the free throw line. He has scored 17 of San Antonio's 25 fourth quarter points. Daniels driving inside with the hesitation. Tap-in try by Duncan won't go. It's picked up by Stockton. Retaken by Ellie. Retaken by Stockton. Off the foot. Off the foot. And a fifth foul is called on Mario Ellie. With 1:14 to play and the Spurs leading by 4. What Ellie has thought about this game totally tonight. And now, John, here's John Stockton at the free throw line, one of the best free throw shooters in the NBA, number 11, coming into tonight and showing why there.
Well, and Duncan is 6 or 7. You look at the score, and Utah is still in the game. It's hard to watch the game for watching Duncan and his dominance of this thing and how he's doing it. But you still have to give Utah Jazz a lot of credit. With all the excitement in all this arena, they're still in this doggone ball game.
Stockton drains 2 free throws. It's a 2-point San Antonio lead, 84 to 82.
I wonder who they're going to go to.
Well, he's on the left block and he's double teamed.
And the ball is on the left side.
Nice defense by Stockton. Now they push Duncan out, and he's got a joust with Malone. 7 to shoot. The double by Stockton with Malone. Rotating Ellie to Porter. Oh, what a shot by Terry Porter. A lethal shooter, and he gives the Spurs a 5-point lead. Knocked away, picked up by Malone, collides with Johnson, and a foul called on Avery Johnson. Wonderful rotation, passing the ball by the Spurs.
Well, and he didn't force it. You know, after scoring like that, he passed the ball, they rotated it, passed it, and as a result of Duncan, they're able to get a free shot. Actually, even though he didn't make the direct pass, the defense is so geared towards what he's doing that he's causing them to get free shots. And if they hit those shots, I mean, that's all that's necessary.
And here's Karl Malone at the free throw line. Terry Porter was picked up for just what he did right there. He is a ruthless three-point shooter. Porter is a great perimeter defender. He could have stayed at Miami. They wanted him badly, but he comes here because he's been to a finals before, but never, John, captured a championship, and he thought this was the best way to get it.
Well, and he's a big-time shooter. At the right time, he makes shots, and he has a history of doing that. I just would have liked to have seen him get a little bit more involved, as well as Ellie, a little bit earlier for the sake of his team.
Half minute to play. San Antonio by 3. It's Porter again. Avery Johnson, the Robinson screen. Back to Porter for 3. Oh, what a shot!
Again, big-time shot at the right time.
A stunning performance by Terry Porter. 15 their biggest lead in the second three by Terry Porter. A captivating finish to an incredible game in San Antonio.
Let's have lunch where fresh tastes better. Hot and juicy, let's go together. Share the good times, share the fun. It's all there for everyone.
For a quick bite or enough to feed an army, when people want delicious variety made fresh, they turn to Wendy's 99-cent Super Value Menu.
Wendy's Super Value Menu is there for you.
Let's have lunch at Wendy's.
Pay-per-view for the demanding viewer.
Every day across America, more and more children are improving their reading because of Hooked on Phonics.
Dylan was just struggling, having a hard time getting through a book.
He used Hooked on Phonics for only 4 weeks, and I was amazed at the progress he had made over the summer.
Hooked on Phonics really works.
Use Hooked on Phonics and see the improvement in your child's reading in just 4 weeks, or your money back. We guarantee it.
Call to order, and with your paid order, get the World Book Encyclopedia on CD-ROM free. Call 1-888-ABCDEFG.
What if AIDS was entertaining?
What if AIDS was something to sing about?
What if we learned about AIDS from our role models?
Imagine singers and sports figures, entertainers, and educators.
What if every child knew the best protection is information? Would we be closer to wiping out AIDS?
Action Against AIDS has educated thousands of teens about HIV through entertainment. Support Action Against AIDS and take action. Call us today.
Being farsighted? It's no problem when you buy a new fridge. It can help you see savings for years.
Shopping for energy efficiency when you buy an appliance was good advice when that NSP commercial urged you to do so a few years back. And it's good advice today. In fact, those far-sighted NSP customers who bought energy-efficient appliances just 3 to 8 years ago have probably saved enough in energy costs to cover their purchases. Conserving energy is always a good idea.
Let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, defending, Tim Duncan no longer a concern for Utah. They have to score, so Howard Isley has gone in place of Olden Polynice, possibly looking for the three-point shot. He's out there with Brian Russell, Jeff Hornacek, and Stockton. Malone, of course, in the middle.
Russell inbound. Goes off to Stockton. Screened by Malone. There's Duncan. No place for Stockton to go, but inside, and a foul called on Jaren Jackson with 10 seconds to play, and San Antonio leading by 6. That's the 4th on Jackson. Give me some strategy here now, John. Malone will be at the free throw line with a couple, 10 seconds left. You're down by 6.
Well, and I don't think it was necessarily a bad foul at that point because, you know, he was going to obviously make the basket. Now he's got to make it from the line. They're not going to pick up a 3. Obviously, the Jazz are going to have to put some pressure on them. And I think, really, and looking at it, the Spurs are in good shape here to win this ball game. You know, Jaren actually made him make it from the line as opposed to making a basket out of it.
Karl Malone. Malone averaging, as we mentioned before, 26 a game tonight. He's got 21 points and 11 rebounds. Has not been the factor that we thought, nor has David Robinson. There has been such an embracing performance, a compelling performance by Tim Duncan, who has a career-high 44 points tonight. He has overshadowed everybody.
Well, he definitely has. This is the kind of performance that you'll like to tell people that you were there to see this. I mean, this is just an extremely... That was great defense on Utah's part. His denial, you know, put a lot of pressure up full court.
Now San Antonio with 2 timeouts, full timeouts, and a 20. Utah has 2 full and a 20 themselves.
Well, and look at this. I mean, aggressively, they're fronting their men. I mean, really, they're not guarding the inbounder, so the guy that's guarding the ball is freelancing on this.
And there's a San Antonio timeout.
There's a lot of reasons why so many people who take care of their cars turn to AutoZone each week. The low prices on the replacement parts they really need, and the large selection of the things they simply want. But most of all, they come to AutoZone because of the helpful, friendly people who work there. Kind of folks who know their stuff and who'll go the extra mile to help you out. Because after all, taking pride in taking care of people is what AutoZone is all about.
25, I wanted to make vice president. At 35, I wanted to make my first million. At 45, I wanted to make enough to buy the company. Now all I want is to make it around this track 0.2 of a second faster.
At Lincoln Financial Group, we provide clear, understandable, customized solutions to help you manage, protect, and enjoy the work of a lifetime. Lincoln Financial Group. Clear solutions in a complex world.
TBS NBA Monday, brought to you by Hyundai. Every Hyundai is backed by America's best warranty with 10 years powertrain coverage. By AT&T One Rate 7-cent plan. Real long-distance savings made simple once again, all day, every day. By Wendy's 99-cent Super Value Menu. It's there for you. And by AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts.
John Thompson moments ago inside the Utah huddle. This was Jerry Sloan.
Well, and again, defensively, it's very important for them to make decisions in terms of denying the ball. You know what I mean? Now, well, actually, they're getting the ball out of their end of the basket because the timeout was called. You know what I mean? But now you're trying to prevent the inbound pass from coming, and they've got to make a decision as to whether they want to give a quick foul.
Johnson
and
inbounds.
They did.
Yep.
And they did.
Hornacek was there, and that's where the foul came from as Porter got the pass. And Jeff Hornacek was there. He picks up his first foul of the night. Clock at 10.3 remaining in the game. The Spurs lead by 4. Porter will be at the free throw line, like we said before. A good free throw shooter career, 84%.
Well, and he's known to play under pressure. The only thing that you would have loved to have seen him to do is to get involved a lot earlier, but better late than never. He came up big in this quarter. Oh, my.
Porter has played with the Blazers as Antonio Daniels checks back in. 3 years in Minnesota. Last year in Miami, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. The free throw shooting tonight for the Spurs has been exquisite. 20 of 23.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see the Spurs pick up full court to try to cut into that 10 seconds a little bit as opposed to just going back. You know Utah will be looking for threes.
It's a 5-point game.
They call time, so they'll get it out back at half court.
It's 91-86. The Spurs. Utah calls time.
Oh, I should have used Preparation H. Cool it fast with Preparation H Cooling Gel. Cools on contact for fast relief. Preparation H Cooling Gel cools on contact.
Your car is gonna freeze all night. It won't start unless you fight.
Before your gas line turns to ice, pour in a beaker of new Prestone Cold Start Fuel Additive. It works double time to fight gas line freeze and clean your fuel injectors. From the cold weather specialists, now cold starting protection. New Prestone Cold Start.
Hit me with your best shot.
Get in the Prestone zone, so nothing can stop you now.
Give me soybeans. Yeah. Scroll up. Buy it. Buy. Next page. Close that. All right, beautiful. Sell it. All right, highlight 4. Scroll up. Up.
The voice-activated wearable computer.
Buy it.
Yeah, baby.
It may be far out,
Hi, Donna. Oh, yeah, the meeting was fine.
but it's not far off.
I'll be on the afternoon flight.
Is your dandruff sending the wrong signals? Get Selsun Power. Doctors recommend Selsun Blue. So don't send the wrong signals. Get Selsun Power.
John, what is Greg Popovich, the Spurs coach, telling his team?
Well, you know, I think the thing that he has to be very careful of is that he wants to cut as much of that clock off. You know, he feels that having a 5-point lead, you know, he's in a great position, but you can't afford to let them score too quickly or to get an easy basket and pick up and then intentionally foul them. So what he's trying to tell them to do is you got to still defend. You can't assume that the ball game is over. You know, obviously, Utah will look for a 3-point shot. If they don't get the 3-point shot, a quick 2 and try to foul, but more than likely they're looking for the 3.
Utah tonight, 6 of 9 shooting threes. Here's one by Stockton, no good. Rebound pulled down by Tim Duncan. And he is is quickly fouled with 3.5 seconds to play. And a San Antonio 91-86 lead. We're I-44, cultivating that on many spins and individual moves off the block and taking it inside. One time he had scored more than half of San Antonio's points tonight. And he's going to build on his career high with some free throws right here.
No, it's just a tremendous performance. You know, he carried this team when they were really not doing much of anything at either end of the court. And to think that he's capable of doing that against a quality team like Utah is just a reflection on the quality of this guy's ability. I mean, I would have never thought from looking at the mood of the game that the Spurs would have won this game the way they were playing.
Here comes Stockton. He'll dribble it out. And the San Antonio Spurs have beaten the Utah Jazz 93-86. And Tim Duncan brought us all out of our seat tonight. A career-high 46 points, 19 off it in the fourth quarter. And for the Utah Jazz, they end their 6-game winning streak. Our producer, Mike Burks. Our director, Lonnie Dale. Now for Craig Sager and John Thompson, this is Kevin Harlan saying so long from San Antonio. Let's send it to Los Angeles with Kevin Calabro.